What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of modded Minecraft 1.8.9 on the xbPacked mod pack. Oh yeah, guys. So last episode we were starting looking at trying to get power going for our quarry. Yeah. This episode we're going to continue on that path. So I have started smelting down some glass so we can get ourselves some glass bottles. We need those to get creosote out of our coke oven that I set up off camera, like I said I was going to do. So I got that set up over here. Yeah, in order to make one of these, the coke ovens, all you need to do is make the coke oven brick, and you need, was it 27 of them? That's a 3x3x3, completely solid of, yeah, these coke oven bricks. Cool. And once you get this all set up, all you gotta do is make yourselves an engineer's hammer, right click on that center block, and bam, it turns into this coke oven multi-block structure. So I'm currently cooking up some coal into coal coke, and that's producing creosote oil as a side effect. Looks like we have 7 buckets. We only got 6 bottles. Anyway, that'll be enough for now. You can take 1 bottle of the creosote, and I believe you put it into the crafting grid with 8 planks, and that'll turn those planks into the treated planks. Yeah, we needed those to make more of these water wheel segments. Okay, so we have some planks here. I probably should have grabbed some wood while we're over at the other spot, but whatever, it's fine. Okay, so we can make a chest, or we could make 8 treated planks. This is what we need. I think we only needed a couple more of the treated sticks in order to make another segment. Let's see. Yeah, it was it 4 sticks? I think it was 4 sticks and 4 or 3 of these. I think the sticks were like this, wasn't it? And then 3 of these. There we go. There's a water wheel segment. Oh, actually, you know what? We needed to make a few more of those, didn't we? Because we need 4 of those segments. I can't remember. Now, let's look. Water wheel. Yeah, in order to make the water wheel, we need... Oh, right. So we need 4 of those plus a piece of steel. We still don't have that steel yet. I think the only way to make steel in this pack, I'm going to say, is with a blast furnace, but I'm probably wrong. Looks like we can do steel grit of some kind. We get molten steel. Guess we should probably check and see. You know what? We do have IC2 in here. So how do we get the IC2 steel? It doesn't really show, does it? There's probably a way. It doesn't look like we can do it very easily. Steel plates, steel tool rods. If we had like pig iron from the nether, I don't think we have nether ores in this mod pack, do we? We have nether core, which adds ore to the nether, but not specifically the nether ores mod. Interesting. So how are we going to get steel? I guess we're gonna have to set up the blast furnace. I wasn't really thinking about doing that, but since we are in fact making the coal coke with the blast furnace, we can use the coal coke in the coke oven. We can use the coal coke in a blast furnace with iron to make steel. I believe that's how that works. Let's go and grab like a stack of these logs since we're gonna need those over here. Okay, so let's look at how to make... Well, let's just go ahead and make up the rest of these. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and make up the rest of those treated planks. With that, should be good enough. Cool. All right, so we got 51 treated planks. We should be able to make the rest of the water wheel segments. So let's look at the blast furnace. That's reinforced blast brick. The blast brick. Okay, so we need brick, regular brick, plus blaze powder, plus nether brick. All right, well, we do know where there is a nether fortress, but I don't think we can get the nether brick from the regular bricks, right? I think what we're going to have to do is actually smelt down nether rack. Yeah, we're going to have to go collect a little bit of the clay, because I'm pretty sure we're out of clay as well. I used most of it. We got 20 pieces. I used most of this clay that we had to make the coke oven. Okay, so we're gonna have to smelt up some netherrack. We're gonna have to smelt some clay. I'm gonna have to go find some. All right, well, let me get some stuff done here, guys. I wasn't really expecting to do all of this stuff, but yeah, let me go ahead and get some stuff done, and we'll be back. All right, guys. Well, I was able to smelt all the materials that we needed for that blast furnace. We got some brick done. We got some nether brick cooking. I made all the pieces we need. It's also a 3x3 structure, and I have it set over there right next to the coke oven. But for now, we're going to be working on setting up this quarry. We're going to be building this. So I just made some wooden gears out of sticks, and I turned those wooden gears into stone gears by putting cobblestone on the four sides just like this, but this is iron. So we're taking the stone plus iron. We're gonna make iron gears. We need 7 of those. So we'll go ahead and make those up. We need 4 of those turned into gold gears. So let's go ahead and make those. Finally, we are going to take 2 of those gold gears and we're going to turn those into diamond gears. Here we go. And done. Cool. So that is most of the recipe for a quarry. It's not super expensive. We need 3 more diamonds for a diamond pick. Let's go ahead and grab those. I forgot about that. We have the sticks on us for that. And then the other thing we needed was a piece of redstone. Is that what that was? Okay, we should be good to go in order to craft this up. Let's make this diamond pickaxe real quick, though. There's that guy. There's that. There's this. There's the 2 diamond, 2 gold, and the 3 iron. There's a quarry. Done. Okay, so we got the quarry. We got the quarry made. That's part of the things that we need to do. We have the water wheel segments made. Let's go check on the blast furnace. This has been going for just a couple of minutes. It should be almost ready. In fact, I should probably put these little lights over here. Wrong one. I should put these little lights over here to kind of match what I got going on. Oh, we need a dirt block right there. All right, I'll fix that later. Okay, so in here, I put the coal coke that we were making. Looks like we're getting slag as a byproduct. We got the 3 steel that we needed, and we'll just go ahead and let this cook up and make more steel. Yeah, this is me 3 more coal cokes. Since I've done that, I put the empty bottles back in here just to collect a little bit more of that creosote. I don't remember if the coke oven stops if the creosote is full, or if it keeps going, you just waste the creosote. But anyway, I wanted to have a little bit of extra of that stuff on us. So we'll do this, then we can put these guys right like this. And there we go. There's our 3 water wheel segments. Cool. So we got a quarry, we got a water wheel segments. We also need the kinetic dynamo. The kinetic, this thing, kinetic dynamo, yeah. So that's 3 iron, 2 redstone, and then this copper coil block, which is a bunch of the LV wire coils around an iron ingot. And we get 4 of those. We need 2 recipes, so we need 8 copper and 2 sticks. I think we should be able to do that. I haven't looked at my copper supply for a minute. Yeah, we have enough. We have enough, but not a whole lot of this stuff. All right, so let's make up those 2 recipes worth of these. Plus 2 sticks. There we go. There's that. We need that around a piece of iron. There's that. We need that plus 3 iron, and then it was 2 redstone. Let's grab that out of our storage over here. Okay, cool. So we now have our kinetic dynamo. We have our water wheels. We have our quarry. I think we should be pretty much good to go. Yeah, I did make some extra of these stone gears by accident, but that's fine. Another thing we got to figure out, though, we're going to be mining up stuff. Where are we going to put that stuff that we're mining? We should probably look at making some diamond chests. We could look at making some more of these easy storage containers. We could look at doing some of the storage drawers. We have a few options. We don't really have applied energistics. We don't really have a place for a bunch of storage to go into. I think maybe the easy storage might be the best. Let's just take a look at the recipes. It's been a minute since we've looked at these. So to make, yeah, we need the storage core. That's like the main thing. And then we need storage boxes, which is chests. Okay, so that's just wood. We have that. And I guess just some logs around the outside, right? And then we could do the condensed storage, which is iron. Oh, that's where it gets expensive. Iron and iron bars. And then finally, the hyper storage. We need nether stars. So we're not going to be able to do that at all. Okay, so we might do... The condensed storage is nice, but that's a lot of iron. I don't know if we have that kind of iron yet. We might have to upgrade after we do the quarry. Yeah, we only got 60 ingots smelted right now. I think that is the end of it. I think that is the end. Do I have any more in here? No. Actually, don't I have blocks? No, I think we've chewed through pretty much all of our iron. We have less than a stack of iron that is smelted. So yeah. All right. So I guess we're going to do the storage boxes. We're just going to make a whole bunch of these and we can upgrade those later or something. We have plenty of wood. And we have that recipe where you can take 8 logs, like you make a chest and you get 4 chests out of that. So it's just a little bit simpler crafting. All right. So there's a few stacks of logs, probably overkill, but I want to make sure we have enough. I'm going to go ahead and make up some storage boxes. I'm going to make that storage core. We'll probably go to the mining world to start getting this thing set up. Yeah, let me do a few more things, guys. We'll be right back. All right, guys. Well, here we are in the quarry world, and I've been trying to get ourselves like the quarry prepared, right? So we made some landmarks. These are how we section off an area. We tell the quarry, hey, don't be your default size, be the size of the area that we specify with these landmarks. Now, normally you can put these out, I think it's 23 blocks away from each other. You can power the landmark, and you can see like how far the range is. You can even go up and down with it if you want to. Normally we just pick a corner and then put a marker on two different sides like this, so we'll make a box. Yeah, you only need 3 markers to do this. So I've been fighting with this thing because normally you set this down, you power it, and then you place a landmark all the way at the very end as far as the beam goes. But you can see this marker isn't that far. Well, I tried placing it out here to as far as this beam goes, and then I right click on the middle one like you're supposed to do, and that should, you know, form a box, make everything turn red, and it doesn't work. So either this line is going out too long or the maximum distance has been decreased. Anyway, long story short, this is the maximum distance that we can put out the quarry. Yeah, I was trying this, like I had this marker all the way out to that spot and it wasn't working, so I made myself another marker. I started debugging. It's like, if you right click on these, does it still make a red line and this and that? Anyway, that's what I was doing, is I was just moving it, right clicking it. Oh, it goes out this far, and I kept going until here, and then it stopped working. But anyway, we got this thing figured out now. So it's like that on this other side too. It doesn't go out as far as this beam does. Yeah, this is about as far as we can bring it out, so that's what we're doing. So anyway, we should be able to right click on this guy now. Boom, we got a red box just like we want. Okay, we can get rid of that torch. We don't need that anymore. And we should be able to place down our quarry like so. The landmarks pop off, and then the yellow checkerboard box. Yep, that is... I want these landmarks back. That's showing where the designated quarry zone is going to be. Now, if this is still the same, when we give this thing power eventually, it's going to start putting out like little frame structure support things. Yeah, and then I'll start mining out the center after that's done. We still got a few things to go here before we can get to that point. We're going to want to put our storage core. I assume this is going to work. I haven't tried this. We're going to put the storage core right next to the quarry, and we're just going to put these storage boxes right next to this thing. I hope this works, that the quarry will see this as an inventory. It'll just start shoving items in here. We got 3,200 different spaces available, which isn't a whole lot, but hopefully it'll get us going. Okay, so we need to give this thing power. So we made our water wheels before. We need to get those water wheels set up. I think we're just going to go ahead and set up a... Well, actually, let's hit F9 a few times. Let's see where the chunks are. Oh, I put this in a bad spot, didn't I? Ooh, that's going to be a tight fit. Yeah. Normally, you want to have your power situation within the loaded chunks. I don't know how this is going to work, because the quarry will chunk load itself, and the chunk loads the entire area that it's quarrying out. I suppose we could build it up higher than this border and then have it going down, which is kind of silly. That might be what we end up doing, or we could just move the whole thing over one way or the other so it's in the chunk better. All right, well, I'll tell you what, let me get that figured out, and then we will start working on the power situation. All right, guys, well, I went ahead and I moved the quarry back a little bit. It is now like in the center-ish of a chunk, so we can place our power system inside the chunk boundaries, and this will all be chunk loaded along with the quarry, so that's going to make me happy. Cool. Anyway, we have the kinetic dynamo set there, and then we can place the water wheels directly on the kinetic dynamo, and we're going to make this 3 wide. Now, I discovered in Feed the Beast, Infinity Evolved Expert mode, if you just put water on top and let it flow over and around the wheel, you make like 75 RF per tick. You can also add additional water sources that are kind of down a little bit, pushing to the wheel, and down here pulling away from the wheel, and that will bump it up to 88 RF per tick. I don't know if that was a config thing. I don't know if that works in this version of immersive engineering. I don't know a lot of these things, and I don't think there's a very good way for us to find out either. There's not a lot of like mods where you can put power in and it'll tell you how much you're making. But anyway, we're going to try and set this up the way that I did this before. So we are going to put some glass. Let's see. Yeah, we want to put glass like right here. So let's go ahead and get this filled in. If we want water flowing this way, actually, I guess I could have just put glass right here and that would have done the correct thing. The water's kind of going to spill out, so we're going to want to fill in these walls. Let's go ahead and get this done as well. We're just using the vanilla style glass. I don't know. Well, we do have the Tinker's glass probably, and that's a connected texture clear glass. I might swap this out for that a little bit later, but for right now, I think we should be fine just filling this all in with the vanilla glass, just so we're not spilling the water everywhere when we get this thing all hooked up. I made about 2 stacks worth of glass. We got some more cooking up back at home. I don't think that's chunk loaded there, so maybe it's not cooking up right now. Can I, Slime, will you just get a life? Get out of here. Nobody likes you. Take the hint. Okay, we should be good. And then we need to fill in this last part after we get rid of these slimes. I'm noticing with the chisel blocks, you can hit it with basically any tool. It instant breaks, and then you don't get your blocks back. So that's a thing to be aware of. All right, let's fill in this last side real quick. Okay, that little spirit thing needs to go away. Or it can just kill itself, one of the two things. All right, so anyway, we got this all hooked up now. That took a little bit longer than it should have. So we can place water here. Actually, let's make an infinite source down here. I brought 3 things of water so we can do an infinite spring. I'm sorry, I brought 2 things of water so we can do an infinite spring. All right, so we got water. There's that. This one. And this one. Cool. So the water should flow over the wheel, and then it's going to go down, over, and then down. Then we want this to actually flow back under. So I'm going to have to make a change here. Yep. All right, so we'll just go ahead and wreck. We're going to wreck a lot of stuff here, actually. I should have built this up 1 block taller. Oh, well. Let's put a hole right here. So when the water spills out, it doesn't go everywhere. So we want, like, this stuff all removed. Something like this. I'll place the blocks back where they need to be here in a minute. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, so if we remove these under here, the water should flow underneath the wheel, and that should provide us a little bit more water on the water wheel. Okay, and then we'll just patch this back up. Like so, like so. Okay, now the water's flowing under the wheel. It should be spinning a little bit faster, doing its thing. And we'll put a block. Let me grab those. Block back right there. Cool. All right, so that's the main thing to get this thing going. There's probably ways to make it more efficient. I'll fiddle with this a little bit. So we're going to be using MV wire coils. Oh, you know, I did not make the MV wire connectors. Let's go back to the base real quick. We need those to attach the wires to. It's been a minute since I've used Immersive Engineering power connectors. So, all right, so we have the wires. We need the MV, not the relay, just the connector. So we need hardened clay. We need to smelt that up. We do have plenty of clay balls now. I went around into the water. And yeah, I went around into the water and vein mined the clay. That's what I'm trying to say. There we go. All right, so we got that smelting up. So the recipe was for the connectors. That'll give us 4 of them. We need 4 hardened clay and then 3 iron. We're going to need that iron as well. Let's grab that real quick. Okay, and the clay should be just about smelted up now. There's 2. Give me the 4. Yeah, got it. Okay, we'll just let the rest of those cook up as well. Okay, so there we go. There's our MV wire connector. So we should be able to go back to the quarry age, the quarry world. Those slimes, they just keep falling down. All right, so we'll do connector here, and then we should just be able to right click this to here, and that should provide this with power. It looks like everything is working correctly. So the red things are going out there. I believe that destroys blocks. I guess the red things are also what build the scaffolding around it. Yeah, it definitely has been a while since I have used Buildcraft for a quarry. This is really cool looking. I like the way that makes like a wave look or whatever as it's throwing those blocks out there. It's really cool. Okay, so that's almost done. There we go. So the frame is built. and it is throwing blocks in the air. Okay, so this is not working correctly. Let's go ahead and unpower this just so we're not putting blocks everywhere. A thing that I'm noticing... Oh, I didn't see this guy. I was going to say, a thing that I'm noticing is I don't see where it's mining. There it is. Okay, so it does have a little drill and it is mining like it normally does. Cool. All right, so this doesn't seem to want to put the blocks into here. So another thing we can do, we can place a regular vanilla chest and have some kind of item export back into our storage. So let's go get ourselves a chest real quick. Yeah, I wasn't sure if that was going to work. I kind of figured it might not, but I wanted to give it a test. So just a chest. For now. Yeah, that'll also be good, though. If we go into a chest, we can filter out things like cobblestone and send that into a different path, probably. Whoops. I shifted twice. Get back in here. All right. So we'll go ahead and put that chest right on top, and then we'll have to relink the power connector and the wire, which is fine. It'll only take just a second. Not there. All right, so there's that. This. Right click. So this thing should have power, and it should be going again. It's not going very fast. We might have to hook up another water wheel. We really don't have a good way to make a lot of power at this moment. I know there's ways in this pack to make a lot of power. Yeah, we have, what is it, deep resonance, and we can set up like the reactor or whatever. I don't know how much power this quarry accepts. The tooltip doesn't really say anything about it. I'm noticing these lights don't even turn on, showing that it's active or not. So yeah, let me go ahead and mess around with this a little bit more. I'm going to try and optimize the water flow and see if we can get just a little bit more juice out of this. We'll be right back, guys. Well, all right, guys, the quarry seems to be going at a decent speed. I did go ahead and change the water setup on our water wheel here. So I added in the extra things that I was talking about. So right here, we have a water source block that's flowing from here, one block over into the water wheel. Yeah, these are the same source blocks we had up here that just flow over, down, and around. So yeah, we have source blocks here that are flowing to the left into the water wheel. And then down here below, the water stops touching the wheel at this block. And then right here, we have water touching next to the water wheel flowing away from it. Yeah, like I said, I did some testing in Infinity Evolved Expert mode, and we were able to increase it from 75 to 88 RF per tick from a triple water wheel in that pack. It's probably different in this one as far as like the actual numbers. But like I said, we don't have many items, or at least that are available to me right now, that can do proper testing to see how much of an increase or decrease or change it's making at all. But anyway, so I did that. It seems like it is speeding up the quarry just a little bit more, which is awesome. I mean, this thing isn't the fastest thing in the world, and it's got to cut through each and every one of these blocks. But yeah, I think that's going at a decent rate. I mean, we could add in another water wheel exactly the same and double the amount of power going in. It might double the speed. I really don't know. We really don't have a lot of information in this 1.8 mod pack as far as like power usage and how much stuff is doing. But anyway, now that we got this thing hooked up, we can kind of just forget about it. It'll start doing the stuff. I made myself a diamond chest, and yeah, the dirt that we are mining up is going into this chest, along with all the other things that it's mining up, like from the different grass that it was destroying. It was putting seeds in the chest here. I made myself an unnamed. No, this is a transfer node from Extra Utilities 2. It looks a little different. The interface is about the same. You can put upgrades in here to make this go faster. By default, it's not going that fast, right? I mean, it's enough to keep up with like this stack of dirt in here, but I think we're going to want some speed upgrades eventually. And to make those upgrades, we got to do a lot of extra crafting and extra work in this different version of Extra Utilities. So I made myself 2 compacting drawers. This is a different one that we were using in the overworld. So we got one here for cobblestone. We're going to be collecting a lot of that stuff. Yeah, for right now, it's not doing anything. And then we got one right here for dirt. We can turn dirt into compressed dirt and then compressed into the double compressed. So yeah, we're going to be collecting a lot of dirt for these first few layers anyway. We're going to have to get upgrades into this chest, I do believe. We're going to have a lot of cobblestone by the time this thing is done. I did find out that you can make an input port for the easy storage. That's how you get a pipe to connect to your storage core. Right now you can see there's some seeds in there. I could grab like this carrot seed, for instance, and stick it right in here. It can't fit anywhere else. It can't go into this one or this one. So it has to try and put it into the easy storage, and there it is right here. So it does in fact put stuff into the storage system, which is awesome. So when we start getting things like iron and coal and whatever, that will eventually just go into here. Dirt and cobblestone will go here. We might even want another one for gravel. That might be a pretty smart idea to do that. I might look into doing that at some point. But for now, yeah, we just gotta wait for us to get that iron. We can smelt down that iron, and we can turn these things into the compact versions or the hyper versions or whatever. The next tier up, so you can store a lot more. Yeah, that's pretty good. I just wish we had better quarry options in this mod pack. I know we do have RF Tools, and RF Tools does have a quarry, but in order to make that, let's actually take a look real quick. In order to make the RF Tools quarry, we need, I think we actually need a quarry dimension made. Can we just type in quarry? Yeah, here we go. So to make the shape card quarry, silk quarry, fortune quarry, any of these things, I was thinking we needed the dimensional ores. Maybe I was looking at something else. The fortune quarry, we do need dimensional shards, or we can take a shape card clearing fortune quarry and wrap it with dirt. I don't know. I was looking through this a little bit ago, and I was pretty sure that we needed some of the dimensional shards, so we might look at doing that pretty soon. There's a lot of different higher tier power options available. We should probably look at doing those so we can make things like quarries go a lot faster. But anyway, guys, I think we're going to go and wrap the episode up here for today. I think it's going to be a little bit of a shorter one, but we really don't got a lot that we can do right now. We're waiting for resources, so that's a lot of fun. So I'm going to just sit here and stay AFK at some place, some safe place. Let the quarry go in the mining dimension. Hopefully we'll get some resources coming in. We'll be able to do some stuff in the future. But yeah, guys, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on this episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.